Welcome back, guys, to the world of SMITE Conquest. This is the Cry, and today we're going to be talking about starts as well as jungle rotations and ward placements. The current start for Season 10 seems to be yellow, red, and blue, pulling all of their camps to the center XP, making sure not to clear any creeps until everyone arrives. Then you clear all creeps, everyone should get level 2, and just be careful not to pick up anybody else's buffs because they tend to clip into each other, as you can see here. At this point, you're going to want to head to mid lane because most camps are going to be cleared out to help support them with their first wave. Though in some cases, green will still be up. The most common start that I see is green and purple being pulled to the center camp on duo lane so that they get level 2 as well. Though if they leave that camp, you will rotate to green. At that point, if green is not there, you'll make your decision on either to gank into duo or solo lane, and I feel like most of my luck has been on duo lane, especially with Surtur most of the time being in the solo lanes a little bit harder to kill. Though don't give up on the idea of ganking into solo lane because he is killable. As you can see in this clip, it is possible to gank into the solo lane successfully. So at this point, you're going to start your standard jungle rotations, and I don't feel like there's a right or wrong way to go about this at the moment just because of how evenly they've dispersed farm in the jungle. Though the most comfortable way I found is to start at the speed camp. You can take this as is, or you can kite it up to damage to help mid lane with some XP. If they're preoccupied, you can take the damage and kite it to the back end of the tower and take it and drop the buff here so it's easy to access for them, and also there's a chance that they'll get some of the XP from the buff, though you want to be careful not to kite them into the tower because then the tower will kill and take some of the gold from it. After that, you're going to move over to mid lane. You're going to find the mid camps, take those XPs. Most of the time mid laner is going to be able to help you with this, though if they're not, clear them out and keep an eye in the center lane to see if there's an overextension from the mid lane or if your help is needed. Once you're done with the mid XPs, you're going to take the green camp. You can kite this over to duo lane if needed, though a lot of the times you're just going to drop it right here. After the green camp, you're going to make your way over to your speed camp. This is going to be able to refresh your speed, so you're never in a moment where you don't have your speed camp. The final camp is going to be the XP on duo side of the jungle. This is the perfect example of a situation where we got pulled out of the jungle in order to support, so we didn't finish our farming run. So always be keeping your eyes open, keep an open mind, and move where you're needed. The minions would have moved in on this tower. They would have gotten poke on Bastion had we not moved over. We also go in and are able to contest the white camp off of this movement, which is really nice. Make sure you get a little bit more XP and stop their progression on your duo lane so they don't outlevel them. You can move into the enemy jungle and contest if necessary, though I feel like it's not worth most of the time, and if you don't have good visibility, there's a chance you're going to hurt the team by getting picked off. Keep in mind that no game goes exactly the same every single time, so keep your eyes open and always support where you're needed, but also try not to overextend. With enough time, the jungle will be able to counter your movement. Always try to move quickly on and off lanes. I would say at this point, you're going to head into solo side jungle most often, hit the XP camp and drag it over to blue. If solo's available, they will come and help you with this for some XP. If not, you want to clear both. And then you want to be looking for your next gank on either solo or mid lane. As you can see, solo got ganked here. We moved in and were able to keep him alive. There isn't always going to be the perfect way to move through the jungle, and you're not ever just doing it wrong because you don't follow the perfect guide. Now we'll get into where I feel like the most common places for wards are and where I feel like the best places for wards are. So for the duo lane, you're going to want to place wards in these two locations. This gives visibility on all entrances into the duo lane other than the back end of your towers. This is going to allow to see someone move into the top side or the bottom side near your tower of the lane, so you can see which side they're coming in on, and also see if they're moving in and throughout this white camp. There are 3 places in the mid lane I feel like you should be placing wards. One of them is here in the center aisle. There's only one way entrance on this side of the mid lane through this XP camp. This gives visibility on them moving into the lane. On the other side, you're going to want to place one at the top and the bottom of each tower to make sure that you can see them entering in. These are the only 2 places on this side of the jungle that they can enter into the mid lane without contesting into a tower. Now there are 2 places under your tower you always want to be paying attention to in the mid lane. That's both gaps on the left bottom side and the right top side of your tower. These are areas where it's very easy to get pulled out or jumped in on from the tower, especially if you're at low health. So always be paying attention because I see in a lot of games jungles sneaking to the back end of these towers in order to get a pick. For solo lane, you're pretty susceptible. It's a very popular place to be for the jungle, so place your wards pretty deep. You're going to put one at the top and the bottom of the lane in order to see visibility on which side they're coming in on. I really hope this video was helpful, and if you did find it helpful, let me know in the comments below, like and subscribe so I know to keep making them. This has been the Cry.